Man, do I love gaming. I love playing all sorts of games, but my favorite type of games have to be the Souls-like games. There is nothing I like more than getting uncontrollably and inexcusably upset at a game because I'm bad at it. I got stuck in the machine!
Yeah, now we're f***ing it up. I can't even hit him because I'm getting bad RNG. Please. Please, dude. Oh my god, second phase. Let's go. Let's not die to this. Please, let's not die to this. Or just die to it. Come on, dude.
Yes, I have a problem. So when I found out there was a little Souls-like game coming out that was based off the story of Pinocchio, you know that I couldn't resist and spent my life savings to get the deluxe version of a game for no good reason. And let me tell you, I was as giddy as a schoolboy who had gotten a love letter in his locker. Except in this instance, the love letter was written by one of my friends to mess with me, and then he proceeded to invite the whole class to laugh at me. This never happened. I made that up because of, you know, the videos. Lies of P, a breathtaking Souls-like game that is heavily inspired by the story of Pinocchio. But instead of it being a simple story about a puppet trying to become human, that happens, or it kind of happens, by the way. It has to do with a lot of fucked up shit, like a man who made a disease that turns people into monsters so that he could become a god. Oh, sorry, excuse me. An arm of God, whatever the fuck that means. So, yeah, a lot of wholesome stuff here. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, and you probably haven't, then you know that I'm a somewhat avid trophy hunter and pain pursuer. Oh shit, that rhymed. So that's why I thought it would be epic to go for the Lies of P Platinum. And let me tell you, it was epic. But it also made me want to commit seppuku sometimes. But we'll get there later. So come along with me, Ryan Kelly, as I share my experience of getting the Lies of P Platinum. This is Lies of P. That story from earlier was made up, by the way. That didn't actually happen. I don't want people to think that happened. In order to get the Lies of P Platinum, you've got to collect all weapons and gestures, fully upgrade every weapon type, listen to all the records you get from side quests, discover all the main character stories, get all endings, and of course beat every story boss in the game. Most of these tasks are pretty straightforward, except for unlocking all the endings and the character stories. Just like any classic Souls-like, you know there are gonna be a couple of different endings. In the case of Lies of P, there are 3 unique ones. One that involves lying, one that involves telling the truth, and one where you commit genocide on your closest friends. That's actually my favorite one because I finally get that daddy son. God, I can't use that. I can't. For this video, I want to be focusing on my truth playthrough because I'm a good boy and I don't lie. It has nothing to do with the fact that I did not record my live playthrough, I promise. Also, I'm only going to be focusing on the bosses that I struggled with or have footage for. So no stalkers or a parade master. Sorry if that's a deal breaker for y'all, but hey, at least I have the trophy pops for those gamers. So there they are. Oh, I guess also there are a couple of baby's first trophies for this game, like a fatal backstab and the one with the stargazer bonfire wannabe thing, and then the one where you deflect the weapon and it breaks the guy's thing. Those are some trophies I also got. So that means I guess we'll start with the first true boss of the game, the Scrap Watchman. See what I did there with the true part, because you know it's my truth playthrough, so that's why I said see. The Scrap Watchman is a great introduction to the deflection gameplay, much like I am when my girlfriend asked me to watch a Marvel movie with her. The deflection gameplay, or better known as perfect parries, actually, I'm pretty sure that is also wrong. Oh, perfect guard. That's what it's called. Perfect guard. That's right. The Scrap Watchman is a great introduction to the perfect guard gameplay. A mechanic where if you time your blocks at just the right time, you'll deflect a hit and sometimes even stun the enemy if done enough times. Now, what I like about the Watchman is that even if you suck at the perfect guard mechanic, like I did on my first playthrough, you can 100% still fight this boss like a traditional Souls-like boss, since it's somewhat slow and has very obvious tails. I mean, look at this guy. Who does he think he's fooling with that attack? Oh, well, I guess me. So after getting a little too mad at me for deflecting all his shit, he gets a little gamer rage and starts going electric bungaloo on my ass. And let me tell you, it was definitely an adjustment that I needed to get used to. But after a couple of chiropractic adjustments, I humbled him and got the victory royale. After some fun times in the factory where I didn't die to the puppet of the future because I'm good at games, I got to the furnace guy, King Fuecoco Flame guy, where I once again used my miraculously perfect guard abilities and defeated Mr. Through the Fire and Flames on my first try. I didn't even get hit once. It was honestly incredible to witness. It definitely didn't take me an hour or two to get lucky and win. That definitely did not happen. You can see from my gameplay that I did so good on the boss. With Red Dead Depression defeated, I moved on to my favorite area in the game, St. Frangelico's Cathedral, where my regression into an infant-like state of confusion was imminent since I had no idea what the fuck was going on. This is where we're introduced to the monsters I mentioned earlier, these lovely little critters who just want to give you a hug. It also is at this point in the game where you must channel your inner parkour skills. Too bad I don't have any. Eventually, I did bumble my way through the cathedral and caused insurmountable damage to its inhabitants. Needless to say, this upset bossman of the cathedral, Mr. Bloodborne Chapel Guy, who decided to take it upon himself to make sure I learned my lesson and proceeded to test my Sekiro skills with his tongue. I'd imagine this is not his first time teaching this kind of lesson. This was the boss that actually forced me to learn the perfect guard mechanic during my first playthrough, since at this point I was still just dodging. However, on my second playthrough, Lickitung got performance anxiety and crumbled under pressure. Needless to say, he will probably not be recovering from that anytime soon. Now that I've destroyed religion and committed genocide, the ultimate 2-in-1 sin, it's time to face the consequences of my actions by being forcibly lobotomized by the Brothers of Cuckery, the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. This band of brothers conjured the perfect blend of misery, rage, and self-doubt, all into one sweet package. Remember how I said I was good at perfect guard? Well, consider that a lie now, because I wasn't able to successfully perfect guard any of the brothers during this fight, because I've regressed even further into an infant-like state, where now I've forgotten how to hold a controller. Yes, this is a real image of me attempting to hold a controller. It's blasphemous, I know. In all honesty, this fight is not bad by any means. It's actually a really clever take on the gank fight. I just really suck at it. So bad, in fact, that I even had to resort to playing like a game journalist and use throwables galore until I won. This was truly a low moment in my life. That's on par with when I had to sit through the Eternals movie in its entirety. Yes, I really did that. But at least there's a little pick-me-up with this freebie story trophy, which is pretty epic. With the babbling brothers shooed away for another day, we make our way to the grand play to slay the king of puppets with no delay. We find ourselves at Rosa Isabel as we propel to the opera house of the unwell to tell the king of puppets farewell. But the white lady, mad as a baby, stands in our way, acting crazy. Without haste, we make waste of her distaste of puppets, leaving her without a trace. We head downtown to find ourselves in a showdown with the mad clown where we break down. With great shame, I skip his mad game because I am lame and now I'm in flames as the comments proclaim I am to be blamed for my lack of game. Damn, I rhymed game twice. Fuck. Well, I was actually getting tired of rhyming anyway. But what I'm not tired of doing is fighting epic boss fights. And boy, do we have an epic one coming up, being the king of puppets. And let me tell you, this boss is easily one of the best bosses in Lies of P. It's a two-phase boss fight, where its first phase is a massive, slowly moving puppet, dressed as a king. Yeah, no shit, it's dressed like a king. Why the fuck did I write? But it's got a pretty wacky moveset that mostly consists of him throwing his arms around, like a child who is just dumped by his Roblox girlfriend. However, after continuously taking L's, he goes through a 2-season anime arc and digivolves into his final form. Romeo, where art thou? Channeling his inner monkey to Luffy in hopes of achieving a victory royale with his now insanely quick and hard-hitting combos. Too bad I was really overpowered at this point in the game and beat him so fast he didn't even have time to go into second gear. However, the same could not be said for my New Game Plus run. He must have remembered the ass beating I gave him in my first playthrough, because he came back with a fiery vengeance this time around and proceeded to absolutely decimate me. But I did eventually outskill him in Fortnite and beat him again, so that was quite epic. It was so bad. It was so... With To Be or Not To Be defeated, all the puppets of Kratz have now gained an exciting new feature. Depression. Even with this epic new update, they still seem to have a mutual goal of greatly inconveniencing me. Especially these guys. I fucking hate these guys. So that's why I feel like the developers personally attacked my character when they created this section in the grand exhibition with the extremely high and narrow beams. I cannot express in words how painful this section of the game was for me. So you can imagine the look on my face after all the ordeals I faced to get through the exhibition, only to discover the boss of the area was in fact Mike Tyson himself. Or better known as Mr. Dream. Let's just say that Mr. Dream is certainly a boss that is in fact in Lies of P. This man single-handedly fried my remaining brain cells trying to keep up with his combos. Single-handedly, cause he fights with his hands.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Jokes aside, this boss is actually fantastic. I'm just really bad at Punch-Out. I also don't appreciate the Batman reference halfway through the fight. It's a little on the nose, if you ask me. Nonetheless, I did eventually outbox the champ himself after practicing a bit on Wii Sports Boxing. Mike Tyson never saw it coming. After giving Bane the old Yeller treatment, we set off to Miyazaki's favorite locale to fight our next boss, the Green Monster of the Swamp, who, if you can believe it, does in fact live in a swamp. However, before I start the process of dying on the inside, I go ahead and grab myself a free trophy for mass murdering a bunch of dimensional butterflies, because I fear the butterfly effect now that I've seen Donnie Darko. And much like Donnie in that movie, I too lose my sanity as I progress further into the swamp, only for it to crescendo into what can only be described as pure hell. Swamp Man was an absolute menace to my mental health, having me reach new peaks of anger I didn't think were possible. If you still have somehow not learned how to perfect guard, or at the very least gotten lucky by button mashing the guard button, then good luck with this absolute Chad of a boss, because this creature has more red attacks than I do brain cells. But that's not really saying much. The Swamp Man's difficulty comes from one thing and one thing alone: its movements. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if its inspiration was from Forrest Gump himself, because hot damn does this abomination love to run. It charges you in a myriad of excruciating ways that would even put Jigsaw Puzzle Piece to shame. But after blasting Eyes of the Tiger one too many times, I finally outran the Swamp Man and left him in the dust, taking his Fortnite Battle Pass along the way. With our hard-earned Battle Pass in hand, we now must backtrack to Hotel Krat. But we can't just teleport there, because the story won't progress if you do that, and that's big sad. So we gotta go back through the starting area of the game, where we encounter the Parade Master sequel, and just like his father before him, he too falls quite easily after whacking him a few times. Oh, we also fought a Bloodborne enemy guy who was pretty tough, but he doesn't give you a trophy, so we don't care about him. After killing corrupted Eggman, we find out that the hotel has been ransacked and that our dad has been kidnapped by, he's been kidnapped by, you know what? No. I'm not gonna say it, because if I say it, then that means I have to talk about it. And if I have to talk about it again, I'm gonna get a fucking migraine. So instead, we're just gonna, I don't know, shit, we're gonna talk about my cats. That's my cat, Ocho. Look at Ocho. He's a very sweet cat. I have this cat, Loki. He's also a very sweet cat. They're awesome. I love them. They're my little gamers, and I would love to see in the comments support for my cats. That would be epic. It'd be a lot more epic than talking about Up to this point in the video, I've only mentioned the boss trophies and not really anything else. And for good reason. It definitely has nothing to do with the fact that I do not have any footage of me getting the other trophies. But in all honesty, you're not really missing out on much, unless you like watching a random man online mindlessly grabbing collectibles and mashing through dialogue text. So to save you a ton of time and boring, unnecessary explanations, here are a bunch of wacky trophy pops for all those trophy junkies out there. Nice. While at this point, the remaining stressful trophies are mostly tied to the rest of the bosses of Lies of P, there is one trophy in particular that will forever haunt my nightmares, and it was all because of my own stupidity. Throughout my entire platinum journey, excluding one portion of the game that we'll get to, I was not abusing the cloud save since I didn't really need to. But I would still back up my save just in case something big sad happened. And yes, spoiler alert, something big sad did happen, with a pretty simple trophy. But before we get there, we have another boss to cover. A boss that is infamous for me personally because of all the trauma it caused me. My least favorite boss in the Lies of P video game, the Black Rabbit Brotherhood rematch.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
This fight can best be described as the culmination of every horrible sequel ever made into one package deal, and personified into a horrendous gang fight akin to the Grave Robbers fight from Dark Souls 2. So yeah, it's really bad. The Shadows of Yharnam wannabes gimmick is that only one of them will attack you at a time with a specific status effect, while the other two will do whatever they can to greatly inconvenience you. Especially this guy with his grab that made me want to grab a gun. However, this fight wouldn't be that bad if that's all it was. In addition to having to defeat the three brothers, you also have to defeat the eldest brother again, and, well, you know how I fared against the eldest brother. But after much tribulation, I did in fact best the brothers. And no, I definitely did not resort to using throwables again, because I would never use such cheap tactics. You can trust me. I play Fortnite. Does this look like the face of someone who would lie to you? But now that the brothers have been silenced, it's time to get a trophy that I've been looking forward to getting for a while now, since it'll be one of the last character trophies I need for the platinum. The story of a stranger girl. This trophy requires you to complete Eugenie's backstory by telling her the truth behind who Alidoro really is. But to do this, you must kill Alidoro to obtain his cipher, and then rely what the cipher says to Eugenie. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, remember, I don't have a lot of brain cells to work with here. So I, well, I fucked it up. Okay, I fucked it up. I didn't read the cipher, so I didn't get the right prompt, and I missed the trophy. But thank goodness, I made all those backup saves. Too bad I didn't think to make an additional one after I beat the brothers. So, yeah, I had to fight them again. And no, I did not win on my first try, sadly. So, after crying in a corner and spending another 30 minutes questioning my self-worth, I did eventually beat the brothers again, and finally obtained the Story of a Stranger Girl trophy. Like Peter Pan, I too now set off for Neverland to fry the biggest and the baddest gamers in all the land. But of course, before we do that, we gotta take care of Hodor, who did not, in fact, hold the door. We then climb the Tower of Terror in pursuit of Simon Says, only to be greeted by his biggest fan, Latex Love, who is by far my favorite boss in all of Lies of P. Like, it's not even close. Laxative's fight feels like what I would imagine being happy feels like, magical and surreal. Her moveset feels like a Rubik's Cube in the sense that there are multiple solutions, with some more complex than others. While her first phase is pretty chill once you pass the vibe check, her second phase is what I would imagine railing a line of cocaine feels like. She moves faster than a single father does when the liquor store opens, and her attacks are as persistent as my landlord is when my rent is due. If you thought Romeo and Juliet had an anime-like transformation, just wait until you see Rolex's opening attack in her second phase. My reaction says it all.
Oh my god. Okay, what is this? What the fuck is this? What is... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Heal. Oh! Excuse me? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do to that?
While Munchlax did take an extremely long time to master on my first playthrough, I did surprisingly beat her on my second try on my second playthrough. With Oxymoron defeated and my rent paid, we had a tough choice to make. But first, we gotta get 2 more character trophies. So I did all of the epic side content needed to unlock both Vanini and Antonia's trophies. And I did it without any issues this time. And now it's time to choose Sophia's fate, which is directly tied to which ending you get. For your live playthrough, you're gonna wanna let her die. But on your truth playthrough, you're gonna wanna let her live. So, of course, I let her live, because I'm a good boy, and I don't believe in murder. With Sophia spared, we finally climbed to the top of the clock tower to greet the biggest and the baddest gamer of them all, Master Hand, who might or might not have given me an ulcer. Master Hand is certainly a master at making me feel dead on the inside. While his first phase is very easy, his second one is another story entirely. With the power of anime on his side, Master Hand does an Evangelion and summons a massive arm to aid him in causing me to lose my sanity as I die to him for 3 hours straight. Words cannot describe how livid I was in this moment. But all that matters is that I was able to get lucky and eventually killed him. However, the damage was done. I wasn't even happy that I won, because I had an overwhelming feeling of depression and residual anger after all the pain that this man put me through. Despite this, I still believe that Simon is an amazing quote-unquote final boss that truly tests your skills. Too bad I don't have any, apparently. But yeah, that's it, folks. We did it. We beat Lies of P. Or at least that's what I'd like to say. There is one more hurdle left that's preventing us from getting the platinum. Daddy Geppetto. All that's left to do now is to pop the inning-related trophies. As I mentioned earlier, there are 3 endings in total, with Rise of P being the true ending. But as you guys know, I do not have that footage. I know, I am a big loser and it is big sad. So we'll be going for the Free from the Puppet Strings ending, since that was my actual last trophy before earning the platinum. But before we do that, I will of course pop the other remaining trophies aside from the epic finale trophy. So here are those little gamers. And with that done, it's time to hand things off to Past Ryan as he fights the true final boss of Lies of P.
Alright, it is 10:10 in the morning. I have my coffee. And it is time to hopefully get this platinum. Focus up and get this done. Ah, fuck you. Oh, good deflects. Is this second phase? Auto second phase pop? Yes! Oh, that was perfect. Okay, this is it, this is it. GG. Yes! This is it! Yes! Finally! Oh, it's over. The Lies of P platinum. Oh, alright. This is the moment of truth. Yes, that's the right ending. Yes! 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 Okay, okay. And free from the puppet strings. And Lies of P. Oh my god. Lies of P, amazing game. I actually love this game despite how mad it made me at certain points. Definitely one of the hardest Souls-like games I've played. You really should play it.
Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope that y'all liked it, and you know what, if you did, then please do all the cringy shit like liking the video and subscribing, because I'm gonna be making more gaming videos. I don't know what yet, but I'll be making more stuff. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna challenge you. Yes, you watching the video right now. If this video gets, I don't know, 1,000 likes, I will platinum the 2023 Lords of the Fallen. Yes, I really just said that.
Whoever made this, like, you see this and you think this is fun, like, fuck you, genuinely.
But something tells me that that won't happen, so I have nothing to worry about.
Oh, that NPC's gone. Well, fuck it, I'm not getting the platinum for this game anyway.